Welcome to session number 8, where we are going to be covering how to enter the data into the PDH Online database. We are going to take a case study and learn how to enter the data onto the PDH Online database. So please go back onto wvcmtest.org/pdhearth and use your login and password to get in. And then you can go to supplementary docs or you can go to day 3, whichever one is easier. And then you can click on case study for World Vision Burundi. So once again, you can click on it, which means you're going to be taken to the file on MS Teams, or you can click on close. What I would do is I would download this case study onto your laptop, and then I would print it out. So I would print it out, and I am going to assign once again children to different participants or facilitators. Okay, so you can go to either day 3 or supplementary docs. Okay, I'll go to day 3, and then you can click on case study for World Vision Burundi, and you can also open Burundi sites. So the case study for World Vision Burundi is going to have the Excel spreadsheet or the Excel database for PDHearth for children who are followed up from day 1 to 6 months. Okay. And you're supposed to be looking at the monitoring form. Okay, don't look at anything before or after that. Just look at monitoring form worksheet. Okay. And then the other file that I want you to open is Burundi sites. Burundi sites has 2 documents. Okay. So this the first worksheet is Burundi sites, which we talked about last session. The second worksheet is called case study assignment. So the case study assignment has the names of the different facilitator participants, okay? And I have assigned the different child numbers to each person. So these are the child numbers that you are responsible for entering in the data onto the online PDH database. So for Janvier, he's responsible for child 1 to 7. So if we go back to this document, here's a child number on the left, okay? He's going to be responsible for child number 1 to 7. So I'm just going to, you can highlight it into yellow, okay? So that you know which children you're responsible for. And then let's go to the online database. So we're going to log on to the PDHearth database again. Okay. And then I want you to click on data entry. So this is where we go. The data entry tab is what we use to enter data onto the database. Okay, so now that we have the screen on split screen, we're going to start entering the case study data into the PDHearth online database. So let's select data entry tab, and then you can select Burundi as the country. And I created a district called case study. You can select case study. For the division, you can select case study. For ADP, we have happiness and light, which is the ADP name. And then we're going to select Sunshine Village. Now, the next thing I want you to look at is the year. So what year are we entering the data for? We'll go to day 1 and we can see that the date is for 2017. So let's select 2017 and then scroll down and you can click on Add a Child. Okay. Now for Add a Child, you can start entering the child's information. So forget about the child number, it's okay. You can just use whatever is defaulted there. And then for the first name of the child, we can put Shaden. And I actually like to copy and paste from the database on Excel to the online database, just so that you don't make any typing errors. So for the parent's name, I'm just going to copy and paste the mother's name. So you can do Control-C on your keyboard and then Control-V to paste. And I can see that there's 2 spaces here, so I'm just going to delete 1 space between the first name and the last name. And then let's see what the gender is of the child. The gender is male, so we can put male. And then the date of birth. So the date of birth is 2015, March 26th. Okay. And then the birth order, we don't have this information, so we'll leave that blank. And then baseline. So baseline is day 1. So the baseline date is 2017, March 12th. Okay. And then the weight in kilograms is 7.5. We don't measure height, so we can leave that empty. And then for MUAC, we can see that the child was green. So there's red, yellow, green. So we're just going to check off on green. And then you can click this little save button here to save the data. Once you have saved the data, you can then move on to day 12, or you can wait to save until you have entered in all the information that you have for this one child. The reason why we have some of these save buttons broken up is because if you are in an area that has low internet connectivity, you can save it in advance as soon as you're done typing so that you don't lose any information if you do lose internet connectivity. And it takes less time to save if you save little by little. So I saved already for the baseline. And then you can continue for day 12, 30 days, 3 months, 6 months, and 1 year. Okay. If the child repeated a heart session, you can click Add Session here, and then you can put in the date, the data for the second session after you click this plus sign. But if the child has only gone through 1 session, you can record it here. And then if you want to save everything with 1 click, you can save this. You can save it using this big save button. Okay, so I'm going to show when the interface or the browser is fully maximized, it looks like this. Okay, so if you've printed out your Excel spreadsheet, this is probably easier to enter the data in this way. And then you can click this big save button. Okay. If you have the height information and the child was measured lying down, you can click this arrow, and this means the child was measured laying down. If it's like this, that means the child was measured for the height standing up. Okay, this is height measured down, height measuring standing. I think that is all. So I will save that, and we have entered in the data for our first child. So please feel free to now go through the case study for the child numbers that you have been given or assigned, and then start entering in your data. So just to go through day 3, practice assignment part 2, enter in the data onto the PDH Online database for the case study, which I just showed you. And then we will generate the summary report tomorrow. So don't worry about generating the report yet. We will enter the data onto the online database, the case study, and then that will conclude today's practice assignment. Thank you.